Day 45 of rereading my Bible, and I read Joshua 10. Just one chapter, because I'm kind of caught up in this whole drama with the Canaanite city Gibeon. I was not really familiar with this. So remember how I said that Gibeon came to Israel pretending to be from a far off land, like they traveled so far, and wanted peace and protection from Israel, when really they were like neighbors and they were Canaanites and they were just trying to avoid being destroyed by Israel, the inevitable destruction they saw coming. And God takes covenants so serious, like oaths that we swear, so serious that he held Israel to this, even though it was a covenant that he did not advise Joshua to make. He still held them to this, even though it was gained deceptively by Gibeon. As far as Joshua and Israel were concerned, in God's eyes, they were going to be faithful to this oath, this covenant that they made with this city of foreigners. So after Israel kind of takes them in, there are 5 kings throughout Canaan who get upset about this. They hear about this and they're like, this is not a small city. Gibeon was larger than the city of Ai. And they're like, we're going to go to war with Gibeon and punish them for this alliance that they made. But Israel rises up and protects Gibeon from these other kings and their armies. I went down a rabbit hole and looked up what happens in the future regarding Gibeon. In fact, God was so serious about this covenant that Joshua had made with Gibeon that down the line, when Saul has a bunch of Gibeonites killed, God takes judgment on Israel by enacting 3 years of intense famine. And also the false prophet Hananiah rises up against Jeremiah, prophesies something that does not come true, and kind of gives a false sense of peace and security. A couple things I just noticed about this is that God is deathly serious about covenants and promises made in his name. In fact, he's just serious about covenants in general. And while Romans 12:18 does say, if at all possible, to live peaceably with others, that does not mean that we need to enter into a formal relationship where we owe somebody something. So while covenants are important and serious, they do not all benefit. But if you make a covenant that's not even beneficial to you, you better keep it.